everyone, thanks for watching or listening to another episode of Grand Advice by Good Monster. I'm your host, John Timmerman. As always, thanks for being here. Today we're going to talk about e-commerce website platforms. So you probably, if you're an e-commerce business, you probably fall into one of two buckets. Number one, you've built your business on retail and you're looking to now grow your business online. Or two, you are an online-based business. You sell all of your products or most of your products on the internet, right? Regardless of the two buckets that you could fall into, today I'm going to talk about three of the main platforms that you're probably going to want to think about using. Now, this episode is intended to be a general overview of decisions, pros and cons, and the three major platforms that you can use. There are other ones that say that they are e-commerce, they have e-commerce capabilities, but they don't really compare to the three main ones. Now, I could be wrong. Of course, those of you out there might use one of the other ones and say, yeah, this one works fine for me. But these three platforms are the ones that we would put our trust in, clients' trust in, and the ones that we would definitely recommend that you use. So the three platforms. First one, Shopify. You've probably heard of it. Second one, BigCommerce, great platform. Third one, Magento, loved by lots. Now I'm going to go through the pros and cons of each of them and who probably what types of business each platform would be right for. So we'll start with Shopify because that's probably the most popular, and there's a reason it's the most popular to more of a consumer audience. It's because it's the easiest platform to start a small, out of your garage, side hustle business on. Out of the box, it is super easy to start. It's just a little bit harder than maybe opening a Gmail account. Another benefit or a pro is that it has some of the most beautiful themes out there, meaning you can make your website look fantastic just by buying a theme off of a Shopify designer or developer. And there's thousands, probably millions of them to choose from. So you can really make your website your own individual website. So some other benefits of Shopify, it comes built with a built-in blog, so you can get writing your blogs, your daily articles right away. That's great for SEO. That's another benefit of Shopify. It's relatively low cost, although they do take a percentage to process any money coming in. Anytime somebody buys your product, they'll take a percentage of that. So merchant fees, but generally super easy to use. It's what I would recommend to anybody starting a new business from scratch without a lot of funding, zero technical knowledge. Shopify is the place to go. And there's even some big businesses built on Shopify. MVMT is a watch company. They currently use Shopify. The one downside, well, there's a few downsides. The downsides to Shopify is that as you start to grow, you start to have major limitations to the customization of the platform. So there's limitations on the number of products that you can list. There's limitations on the customization between the apps or the plugins that you're using to operate your business. Things like cart abandonment and retargeting and website pop-ups and rewards programs, website credit, things like that. That becomes a major limitation as you start to grow your business into the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in revenue and beyond. But Shopify does have a enterprise level called Shopify Plus. That comes in to help larger businesses customize their customers' web experience, their user experience, because they have an API that you can tap into. There's just more customization that you can use, but it's also more expensive. It starts at about $2,000 or $2,500 a month just to use Shopify Plus. One more downside of Shopify is that you have to buy plugins to build your e-commerce engine. Some of the things come out of the box, things like basic SEO, I think newsletter captures, things like that. They all come out of the box. But as you want to grow your machine and really start to integrate this e-commerce funnel, you have to buy plugins from their app marketplace. That can get pretty expensive. Plugins range from anywhere from $20 all the way up to $100 plus. And a lot of times these are monthly memberships. So you could be shelling out a lot of money just for plugins. Now I want to talk about the next platform is BigCommerce. BigCommerce is another relatively popular platform, and it's kind of the middle between Shopify and the third one I'm going to talk about, Magento. And the reason it's sort of in the middle, and I don't mean middle in ranking, I mean middle in its features. It doesn't have quite as beautiful themes as Shopify. They're limited. If you use a BigCommerce theme, it's likely to look like a lot of other websites out there. So you're going to need somebody with coding, design, knowledge to create custom in order to really set yourself apart. But BigCommerce does come out of the box with more capabilities than Shopify without buying the plugins that you have to buy in Shopify. So BigCommerce just comes out of the box with a ton of capabilities that are ready to go to build your e-commerce engine, right? So as you're scaling up past $500,000, you really want a lot of customization, you want to list more products, BigCommerce is probably going to be a little bit better for you. Then the third one, Magento. Magento's super popular. I believe it's used by more companies than both of the first two combined, but there's a reason for that, and that is it's highly flexible. You can literally build whatever you want out of Magento, right? So a lot of technical teams and developers love Magento because there's not a lot of limitation. But the limitations that the first two don't have, number one is cost. The cost to use Magento is more expensive. $500 or $700 a month is probably the starting range. The other limitation to Magento is that it doesn't have built-in hosting, so you have to use a third-party hosting provider to just build your website on top of, whereas Shopify and BigCommerce they have built-in hosting into the membership, right? So if you're looking at these three platforms, if you're just starting out, Shopify is a no-brainer. If you're just starting out, but you have a budget, you have a development team, and you're ready to grow fast, BigCommerce is probably going to be your go-to, and it'll also allow you to scale up pretty far. Magento, it's probably better if you have a technical team on hand, either on staff or an agency, that you're ready to do some crazy customizations right away, you want to grow fast, or you already have a retail built business that you want to automatically integrate all of your functionalities and all of your products into Magento immediately with super custom features. Magento is probably the better fit for you, although BigCommerce really does compete with them, on a lot of these different features and things. So that's just a super general overview of the three most popular platforms. I'll list a few other ones out there just so you know they are out there. WordPress has a platform called WooCommerce. I didn't really mention that one because it has a lot of glitches and it has a lot of shortcomings that if you don't have somebody that's really knowledgeable about WordPress and WooCommerce, it doesn't work quite as well and it's harder to scale. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that are going to argue and say it's out of the box and it's easy to use. There's just some small things in security, some small glitches that you just have to understand and know in order to make WooCommerce work. So in the days where there's a lot of out-of-the-box options like Shopify and BigCommerce, it's just not worth it to go with a WooCommerce, in my opinion. Then Squarespace and Wix are your really out-of-the-box, start from nothing type platforms they say that they're starting to build e-commerce into their systems. But in our experience, which in full disclosure, we don't use either of those platforms because of their historical limitations, but there's not a lot that you can do to scale your business on those platforms. So that's why I didn't mention those in today's episode. So Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, those are your three most popular. That's how we would kind of direct you to one of those platforms. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any more detailed questions, of course, message us, email us. You can go to our website, thegoodmonster.com, and shoot us an email over there, or just leave some comments and start the discussion. But let me know, what is your website built on? Is it Shopify? Is it BigCommerce? Is it Magento? Are you thinking about moving to another one? Let us know why. Thanks a lot for watching or listening. Make sure you subscribe to your favorite video or podcasting platform. Make sure you don't miss an episode. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.